Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are in the Alabama and we're going to have some fun. Now, it's not a domination for once, so we don't have to worry about that, but we're on land of fire and we're going to push forward. We spawned on the anchor side of the map, so that's where we're going to go. That's just the way I do things. I don't try to go all the way across the map usually right off the bat. I spawn on one side, I try to clear my side, and then I work on trying to move back across the map. This match is going to go interestingly, and you'll see what I mean hopefully here in a little bit. It's kind of one of those counter-push matches. I hope you guys didn't hear that. I just smacked the crap out of the mic. I apologize. But we're going to push up the right side. We've got a little bit of help here, and I apologize for all of the spamming that's about to happen because Wargaming will not limit people on how many times they can spam in the, yeah, it's obnoxious. Anyway, so first things first, we're in the Alabama. What is the good things about the Alabama that I've loved over the time that I've had it? And that is, it has amazing guns. It has good accuracy, even though it's not quite as good as the Iowas. It can be at times. It can be really, really ridiculous at times when you get some stupid salvos where it seems like all of the rounds just stay right on top of one another. But it doesn't do it as often as, say, the Iowa. Speaking of which, hello, Iowa. How are you? Are you going to come around the corner broadside for me? I sure hope so. Oh, even better. Hi, Baltimore. Hold these. Got out. Ooh, that's good dispersion. Wait for it. Oh, we didn't quite lead him enough. That's a shame. We only hit one round, too. Luckily, this, I think it's Bismarck right here. Am I right? I think it's Bismarck. Kind of pulls out, gets right in front of me here, and then stops. So I'm trying to back up so that I don't shoot him. Luckily, there's a whole bunch of torpedoes in the way that's going to hit my spaced armor of the Bismarck. But we're already getting out of there. We saw that there was a destroyer. We don't want to be out in front of it anyway. Yeah, there you go. First salvo against the Iowa. Pretty good one. And our Bismarck just goes in and just gets absolutely torched by all of the Kagaro's torps. Well, I mean, there are two choices that you can make when you see torpedoes on the horizon. One is you dart out from where you're at in hopes that you can speed up faster than they can catch you. The other is to just back up, because chances are, especially when you're behind an island like we were, he doesn't have the firing arc to shoot the torpedoes behind you, which means if you back up, you're less likely to take torpedoes. As that Bismarck just found out, when you charge forward, you're asking for trouble. Now, their Kagero is shooting his guns in open water, and I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth, so I try to help our teammate, and we get a couple decent little overpins on him, taking about 3,000 health off of him. Not quite 3,000, but close. And then our guy just torps the ever-living crap out of him and gets the Kagero off the map. I immediately give him a thank you. I'm like, dude, you're a beast. I appreciate you. Because I'd already told him to get out of there because I just figured he was going to die. And I don't want to lose my destroyer this early in the match. Even though we've already lost a destroyer this early in the match. Now, this Baltimore, I figured was going to turn out. He tries, but unfortunately, he's just, you know, run himself aground, and I wasted my shot. And as you can see by that dispersion, that was probably going to be a pretty nasty hit. But that's the way it goes sometimes. We do get the rear guns towards him in order to try to hit him. And look at all the torpedoes coming our way. Those are hard to avoid, ain't they? But you can see I'm still focusing that Baltimore. Me, in as much as I like the Baltimore and I know how dangerous it can be, I don't wait around to see if somebody else will finish him off. I try to get rid of him myself. Unfortunately, bad aim, or just the fact that he was able to free himself pretty quickly there. He gets away from us for the time being. However, this Iowa didn't learn his lesson from the first time that we bet, and is still sailing broadside on to an Alabama. Now, what makes the Alabama different from the Iowa? One of them is obviously the torpedo reduction. 49% torpedo reduction versus 25, I think, out of the Iowa. Maybe it's 20. I don't remember. I think it's 25. Oh my god. Yep. That was a good salvo. Bounced 3 rounds off the side of it, which is kind of giving me Jean Bart feelings. But nope, we did Citadel him, so can't argue with that. But the other main thing that you get out of the Alabama versus the Iowa is the Alabama has 45 caliber guns. Well, what are 45 caliber guns, Spartan? And what caliber guns does the Iowa have? Oh my god, that dispersion. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes that dispersion just be absolutely disgusting in a good way with this thing. Had I had a better aim, had that guy not started backing up, that could have been a devastating strike just due to the fact that it probably would have hit closer to midship. And I don't care if he's a Prince Eugen or any other cruiser. The Alabama is one of those special battleships that just have the absolute... Oh, hello, Iowa. What are you doing, Iowa? How many times I gotta Citadel you for you to learn your lesson? Got out? Anyway. Wait for it. Oh my god. Pow! Gone. Just gone. You can't make it up. Like, if you play in an Iowa broadside to a freaking battleship long enough, you're gonna get touched. And he got touched every time I shot him. But that last salvo, whew, that was juicy. Now, the Prince Eugen thought he was getting away with it. He's like, oh my god, that Iowa just died. But then he realized that I'm not the only one shooting. And he got touched all on his own. But anyway. So what is the difference between the 45 caliber guns of the Alabama and the 50 caliber guns of the Iowa? They're both 16-inch. They both shoot super heavy armor piercing. That is arguably the best in the game, at least until the Yamato shows up and gives everybody the overmatching 18 millimeter or 18 millimeter. Those 18 millimeter guns on the Yamato. I don't know what everybody was so afraid of.
Concentrate fire on the target.
I'm such a dork. Anyway, the 18-inch guns of the Yamato have the ability to overmatch the bow plating of pretty much every battleship in the game, including itself. So, being that, until that happens, the American armor-piercing super heavy shells are some of the best in the game, if not the best in the game, just for penetration. But the problem with the Iowa that you... Oh, hello, come on. Got him! That was juicy. Alright, so the problem with the 16-inch super heavy rounds that you shoot out of the Iowa is it's a 50 caliber gun. Now, the caliber of the gun and the size of the gun, two different. The breech size of the gun, or whatever you want to call it, is 16 inches. 16 inches is massive, okay? Not quite 18 inches on the Yamato, but still massive. You copy that with the fact that it has 50 caliber guns, and 50 caliber is the length of the barrel. And essentially, the length of the barrel of the Iowa is 50 times longer than the size of the projectile, I believe is how they measure that. So it would be 50 times the length of the projectile that you're shooting. And what that ends up helping is the muzzle velocity, first of all. So the shells leave the gun at a faster speed, meaning increased accuracy over distance, and just the fact that they can shoot further. And there goes the Baltimore, and we are slowly bringing this back. The problem with that in World of Warships is that they are moving so fast and they have so much penetration that when you are presented with a broadside target, you tend to get a lot of overpins when you do hit it. It doesn't always happen, but, you know, that's one of the reasons you'll see Alabama players getting more Citadels per game than an Iowa, and that's another good salvo hitting towards the back of the Jean Bart there. Not quite a great shot, but we're going to go in here and try to stop them from capping our base. Notice that the destroyer behind me is capping their base, so I just got to play reset. We're already over 110,000 damage with 4 Citadels. But the fact that you have the Alabama with 45 caliber guns means that the muzzle velocity is slower than the 50 caliber guns. And that reduces the amount of penetration you have, but it also reduces or increases the time that a shell takes to pass through a ship. And that makes all the difference when it comes to arming the shell before exploding inside the ship. Whereas the Iowa will literally, it'll shoot right through a ship and it'll punch holes. Unfortunately, in World of Warships, that doesn't make a whole lot of good for us, because normally if you punch holes through both sides of a ship, it's going to be flooding. That's how that works in real life. You know, if you're punching gigantic holes in the side of a ship, you're going to do a pretty good job of sinking it. Overpens aren't really that big a deal. However, in World of Warships, overpens suck. So you'll see that the Alabama just doesn't get as many over-penetrations. It gets a lot of regular penetrations, meaning an increased damage per salvo, and it gets a lot of citadels versus things that would normally not get citadeled, like cruisers and so on. And so the Alabama has this unique ability, not to mention the turning. The turning is where the Alabama just heads and shoulders above the Iowa. The ability to turn away, get all your guns on, or just fire the front guns, tank the shot that the enemy returns at you, and then turn around and get the rear guns in and shoot the guy. Now, unfortunately, the game ended before we were able to take that game to the next level. That was one of those that I'm fairly confident we could have just absolutely ripped everybody apart. Just missing out on the Kraken, 2,800 base XP, top of the leaderboard. But I can understand why he capped, and I'm not upset at him for capping. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. 134,000 damage, not bad. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.